Classroom Dynamics is supported by Logitech. As education continues to evolve, so does Logitech Education, your partner in content creation for the classroom. With Logitech's cutting-edge technology, students not only learn, but also become content creators. Whether it's in person or online, Logitech's tools are designed to inspire educators and learners alike. Logitech Education, inspiring the next generation of creators. For more, visit logitech.com/education. Transforming classrooms, one innovation at a time. Every classroom has the potential to be extraordinary, and the Logitech Reach adjustable content camera is your partner in making that happen. With its flexible arm and clear video, you can now showcase everything from detailed drawings to live experiments, ensuring that every student is engaged and involved. Whether you're teaching in person or online, Logitech Reach helps you connect with your students in a whole new way. Ready to take your lessons further? Visit logitech.com/reach and elevate your classroom to a whole new level. Something big is coming to Austin, Texas. It's South by Southwest EDU 2026, where bold ideas meet real classroom impact. This March 12th and 13th, Classroom Dynamics will be live at the Logi Work Lounge with Logitech. So if you're attending, stop by and say hello. Want to be a guest on the show? Email us at classroomdynamicspodcast@gmail.com, and be sure to follow Classroom Dynamics on Instagram, X, and all your favorite platforms for behind-the-scenes content, live updates, and exclusive interviews. Let's connect, record, and talk about what's next in education. Welcome to Classroom Dynamics, Bits and Bytes, the podcast within the podcast where we explore cutting-edge technologies for your classroom. Hi, everybody. I'm your host, Adam Todd. Today, we're talking about big news from Microsoft. And if you've been wondering how to build real, practical AI skills as a teacher, this one's for you. Microsoft just announced Elevate for Educators, along with expanded Copilot tools built specifically to support teaching and learning inside the Microsoft ecosystem, including Microsoft Teams, OneNote, and Word. So really, what's the big deal? AI's been infiltrating our classrooms and workflow for a couple of years now. Well, first, this isn't just about flashy AI features, it's about teacher skill building. Elevate for Educators is focused on professional learning pathways that help teachers understand how AI works, when to use it responsibly, and how to model ethical AI use for students. That's huge. Because whether we like it or not, AI literacy is quickly becoming as essential as digital literacy. Second, Copilot is becoming more classroom practical. We're talking about generating differentiated lesson materials in seconds, summarizing long documents or IEP notes, drafting parent communication, creating rubrics aligned to standards, and analyzing student data trends. So imagine cutting your prep time in half, but still maintaining instructional quality. Sounds good to me. And here's what excites me most as a classroom practitioner. This levels the playing field. Not every teacher has hours to experiment with AI tools, but when AI is embedded directly into platforms that schools are already using, like Teams and Word, adoption becomes more realistic and sustainable. Now, let's be clear. We've said this before, and we're going to say it again. AI doesn't replace the teacher or the teacher's expertise. It amplifies it. And this is the mindset shift we all need to adopt. The educators who thrive in this next phase of edtech won't be the ones who avoid AI, but they're going to be the ones who understand it well enough to guide students in using it responsibly, creatively, and critically. So here's your takeaway. Start small. Experiment inside tools you already use. Model curiosity. Learn to ask better and more detailed prompts. And most of all, and in your mind, circle this point with blinking neon lights. Build your AI fluency alongside your students, because the future of edtech isn't coming. It's already here. Now, for more on how you can get started with Microsoft's Elevate for Educators, here are our Google Notebook language model hosts, Bits and Bytes.
I want to start today with a very specific feeling. It's Sunday. You've got a stack of grading on your left, a lukewarm coffee on your right, and a lesson plan for tomorrow that you just know is only going to work for maybe 40% of your class.
The Sunday scaries. It's a universal teacher condition.
It really is. And you're sitting there thinking, okay, I've got 3 kids reading at a college level, 5 who are struggling with the text, and everyone else is somewhere in between. You want to be that teacher who customizes everything.
The hero.
Yeah, the hero who meets every kid where they are. But then you look at the clock, you look at the pile of work, and the math just, it doesn't work.
That's the eternal tension, isn't it? The gap between the ideal classroom and the logistical reality of managing 30 different people at once.
Exactly. And usually when tech companies pitch us solutions, they say they'll bridge that gap. But let's be honest, most of the time it's just another login, another dashboard.
Another thing to troubleshoot when the Wi-Fi is down.
Right. But today we're looking at a whole stack of announcements from Microsoft that, well, they claim to be different. We're digging into Elevate for Educators and some massive updates to Copilot.
And this isn't just a spell checker update. The source material we're looking at suggests a really fundamental shift in the teacher's workflow, especially around prep and assessment.
And that's our mission for this deep dive. I want to cut through the AI hype. I don't care about 2030. What do these tools do for a teacher on a Tuesday morning?
That's the right lens. It is actually how Microsoft is framing this. Matt Jubilier, their GM of education marketing, he says this is not about replacing teachers. It's about freeing time for human connection.
Okay, freeing time for human connection. I like the sound of that. But let's see if the tech actually backs it up. So let's start with the thing that eats up all our Sundays, prep. This new Teach module in Copilot. What is it, actually?
Well, think of it like a specialized layer on top of the normal Copilot. It's been designed specifically to understand educational context. So instead of just asking a generic chatbot to write a lesson,
which usually gives you something pretty useless.
Right, vague. This engine is trained on actual pedagogical frameworks.
Okay, so walk me through it. I'm a 5th grade teacher. We're doing the American Revolution. I have the textbook, but it's too dense for half my class and honestly boring for the other half.
So traditionally, you're rewriting it. You're hunting on Google for a simpler article. With Teach, you just highlight that dense textbook passage and you use these built-in differentiation prompts. You can tell it, rewrite this for a 3rd grade reading level, or adapt this for a student with dyslexia.
And it doesn't just dumb it down, it keeps the core concepts.
That is the critical part, yes. It holds on to the learning objectives, but just changes the complexity of the language, the sentence structure.
Okay, that's the reading. But a lesson isn't just the text. I need to check for understanding. If I give them a new text, I need a new quiz.
Right. And this is where the workflow really speeds up.
Yeah.
The documentation shows you can chain these tasks. So once you have the text, you can prompt it. Generate a 5-question multiple-choice quiz based on this specific version of the text.
Or a rubric.
Or a rubric, exactly, for a short essay.
See, that's the part that usually falls off the plate for me. I might find time to simplify a text, but I definitely don't have time to write a custom quiz for it. So the kids who get the modified text, they get a subpar assessment.
And this levels that playing field. It makes sure the assessment actually matches the material the student used. It closes that loop instantly.
Now, normally when I hear customized curriculum engine, I just hear a cash register. What's this costing the average school district?
This is one of the most surprising details. Microsoft has said the Teach module is available at no additional cost for their education customers.
Wow. Really? So if the school has the license, the teachers have the tool.
That's it.
That's significant. So is it playing nice with other systems, like if my school uses Canvas or Google Classroom?
That's the catch for now. The roadmap mentions that LMS integration is coming later. So for now, you'd have to generate the content and, copy-paste it over.
Okay, so a bit of friction there. Not seamless yet. But for the time saved on the actual drafting, I think I can handle a little copy-paste.
I agree. The time saved on the creative part is huge.
All right, let's pivot from the teacher's desk to the students, because this is where the anxiety spikes for me. If we give kids powerful AI, aren't we just handing them a super calculator for their English essay?
The cheating fear, yeah. And it's a valid one. If the tool just gives you the output, you short-circuit the entire learning process.
Right. If I don't have to struggle to find the answer, I'm not learning. I'm just data entry.
It seems like Microsoft really anticipated this, though. They have this study and learn agent. It's different from the general Copilot. It's for students 13 and up, and its whole architecture is different. It's built on learning science.
What does that mean? Give me an example. A kid types in, explain the causes of World War I.
A standard AI would just spit out, alliances, imperialism, assassination. Done. This study and learn agent acts more like a tutor. It might come back with, that's a great question. There were several tensions building in Europe. What do you already know about the alliance systems at the time?
So it's Socratic methods you are.
Essentially, yes.
Mm-hmm.
It guides the student. It uses adaptive exercises. It can generate flashcards on the fly. It quizzes them to find the gaps. It's what Deirdre Kornstrom, their VP of Ed, calls a shift from quick content generation to nurturing the growth of skills over time.
I like that phrasing. But a clever 15-year-old is going to try to break that. Just give me the answer. Stop asking questions.
Oh, they'll try, of course. And that's why the technology is only half the solution. The other half is what they're calling the AI Classroom Toolkit.
So, an AI literacy class.
Think of it like driver's ed for AI. It's a curriculum for teachers to use with students aged 13 to 15. It covers ethical use, how to spot hallucinations, where the AI just makes stuff up.
That's a big one. Students trust the screen. If the computer says it, it must be true.
Which is so dangerous.
Right.
And interestingly, they're using a very familiar platform to teach that concept, Minecraft.
Of course, if you want kids to listen, put it in blocks.
They've launched this thing called Minecraft AI Foundations, and it's a gamified curriculum where students and even their families can actually see the mechanics of how AI logic works.
How does that even work in a block building game?
It visualizes the algorithms, it shows how the machine makes a decision, it demystifies the magic, so it feels less like an oracle and more like a tool that can have bugs. It turns the black box into a glass box.
Okay, that makes sense. So that's the how of learning. What about the what? The content itself. One of my big issues with AI-generated stuff is it can be so bland.
Generic. Yeah, you get these grammatically perfect sentences that has zero spark.
Exactly. The sky is blue. It is nice.
Microsoft seems to be trying to counter that with the Learning Zone.
Right. This is for the Copilot Plus PCs only.
Correct. It's a content creation platform. But the big deal isn't the software. It's the partners they've brought in. NASA, the World Wildlife Fund, PBS NewsHour, the Nobel Peace Center.
Okay, wow. Those are heavy hitters.
It completely changes the prompt. Instead of saying, AI, make a quiz about space, you're now saying, AI, build an interactive lesson using this archival footage from NASA.
That's a massive difference in quality. And in truth, right, if I'm pulling from PBS, I know the source is vetted. I know it's not a hallucination.
Exactly. It starts you off with high-quality ingredients.
Okay, so we've prepped the lesson, we've taught it. Now for the part of the job that I think causes the most burnout. Assessment. Not the big tests, but the daily grind of just checking work.
Formative assessment, that little dipstick check to see if they got it.
Yes. And with 30 kids, a genuine check on everyone takes forever.
And this is where the learning accelerators in teams come in. Things like reading progress, math progress, and speaker progress.
I've heard of reading progress. That's the fluency checker, right?
It is. And think about the old way of doing a fluency check. A teacher has to pull a kid into the hallway. They've got a stopwatch. They're marking errors on a sheet. And meanwhile, the other 29 kids are supposedly working quietly.
Supposedly is doing a lot of heavy lifting in that sentence.
It's chaos. With reading progress, the student just reads the passage to their device. The AI analyzes the audio. It tracks pronunciation, pacing, pauses. It gives the teacher a dashboard that says, hey, student A is struggling with these specific phones.
So it automates the data collection.
Completely. It takes the grunt work out of it. The teacher doesn't have to be the stopwatch anymore.
Yeah.
They get to be the strategist. They look at the data and go, okay, this group needs help with long vowels, and pull that group.
And speaker progress, is that for presentations?
It is. And this is fascinating for soft skills. It analyzes the student's presentation for things like pitch variation, pacing, and how many filler words they use. Like.
I know a few adults who could use that.
We all could. But imagine being a student with anxiety. Practicing with an AI coach before you stand up in front of the whole class, that's a game changer. It's a safe space to fail.
All of this tech, though, it relies on the teacher actually knowing how to use it. And let's be honest, professional development in schools is usually a dirty word.
A PowerPoint and hot cafeteria.
Exactly. That's why this Elevate for Educators program is interesting. They seem to be trying to gamify the career path.
They've set up tiers. You've got your educator community, your school leader community, and they've introduced digital badges. You can become an Elevate Educator Expert or even a fellow.
Okay, teachers love a sticker, I get it, but does a badge actually mean anything? Or is it just, congrats, you watched a video?
They're trying to give it real weight. In May 2026, they're launching a formal Microsoft Elevate for Educators credential. And it's not just a Microsoft thing. They're building it with ISD, ASCD, and Code.org.
Oh, wow.
And it aligns with the AI literacy framework from the European Commission.
So that's actual currency. If I have that on my resume, it means something.
It signals that AI literacy is a core competency. But there's one course in there that I think is the most valuable. They're launching an Unlock AI for Special Education course.
Okay, talk to me about that. Special ed teachers are drowning in paperwork.
The administrative burden is massive. The IEPs, the progress monitoring, the compliance. This course focuses on using AI to streamline creating accessible materials and handling that paperwork, all while maintaining professional and, legal standards.
That is huge. If you save a special ed teacher 5 hours of paperwork a week, that is 5 more hours they can spend with high-needs kids. That's real impact.
It is. It's using the tech to handle the bureaucracy so the human can handle the human.
Speaking of the human element, we've talked a lot about grades and lesson plans, but post-pandemic, the emotional climate in the classroom it's tricky.
You can't learn if you're dysregulated. It's impossible. If a kid's cortisol is through the roof, that math lesson isn't sticking. So Microsoft is expanding the Reflect tool in Teams to address this.
I've seen Reflect. It's the little emoji check-in thing, right?
It started as that, but now it has a whole gallery of calm activities. So if the class comes in from recess and they're just bouncing off the walls, the teacher can launch a guided breathing exercise right from the toolbar.
So I don't have to be a yoga instructor on top of being a math teacher.
It operationalizes social-emotional learning, makes it part of the routine.
Okay, we have to talk about the elephant in the room. You said Teach is free, but these advanced agents, all the fancy stuff.
Right. There's a price tag. The Academic Copilot is confirmed at $18 per user per month. That's for educators, staff, and students 13 and up.
Whoa. Okay. $18 a month per user.
Yes.
For a big school district. That math gets scary really fast. So why would a district pay that when there are free versions of AI out there?
That is the critical question. And the answer is 2 words: data protection.
Explain that.
When a student uses a free public AI model, their data, their questions, their essays, it can be used to train that model. It leaves the school's walled garden. For a school, that is a privacy nightmare. It violates FERPA, GDPR, you name it.
So the $18 is basically an insurance policy.
Essentially.
Yeah.
The academic license comes with enterprise-level data protection. The data doesn't leave the school's system. Microsoft doesn't use it to train their models. For a superintendent, that peace of mind is worth the premium.
It's the cost of keeping the lawyers happy.
It is.
Looking for a smarter way to protect and use your tech on the go? The Higher Ground Gear DataKeeper Plus CS is built for action. Work directly from the case without ever removing your device. Stay organized with a built-in storage pocket for accessories, and rest easy knowing you've got serious drop protection designed for real-world classrooms and busy professionals. The DataKeeper Plus CS. Organize smarter, protect better, and work wherever you are. For more information, visit hggear.com today. Looking to spark excitement in your classroom and save time? Head over to Highly Motivated on Teachers Pay Teachers. From engaging lesson plans to creative lab books and test prep tools, these resources are designed to inspire learning and take the planning stress off your plate. Highly Motivated, motivating teaching resources that engage and inspire. For more, search Highly Motivated on Teachers Pay Teachers.
Okay, we have covered a massive amount of ground here. If I'm a teacher listening to this and my head is spinning, what's the simple takeaway? What's the workflow?
Don't try to do it all at once. I think of it in 3 buckets.
Bucket 1.
Preparation. Use the Teach module. Take that old lesson plan, feed it to the AI, and let it generate the different reading levels and quizzes. Just buy back your Sunday afternoon.
Okay, bucket 2.
Instruction. Don't ban the AI. Use the Study and Learn agent to shift the focus from getting the answer to explaining the process. And bring in the Learning Zone content so you know what you're using is real.
And bucket 3.
Assessment. Use the learning accelerators. Automate the fluency checks. Stop manually collecting data that a machine can do faster and, honestly, more accurately.
Prep, instruction, assessment. It's about plugging the holes where your time leaks out.
Exactly. And that leads to the final, maybe a little provocative thought I want to leave everyone with.
Let's hear it.
We're moving into an era where just delivering content is cheap. The AI can lecture. The AI can grade basic facts. So if the machine handles the transmission of knowledge, what's left for the teacher?
That is the existential question.
I think it forces an evolution. We move from being instructors, people who instruct, to being mentors of curiosity.
Mentors of curiosity. I like that.
Yeah. When all the drudgery is automated, the only thing left is the human part, the coaching, the the motivation. The question is, are we ready to step into that role, to stop being the source of truth and start being the guide?
That is a powerful place to land. It's a little scary, but it's also incredibly liberating. If I don't have to be the encyclopedia, I can be the mentor. Thank you for diving depth with us today. My challenge to you, the listener, don't try to overhaul your whole classroom tomorrow. Just pick one tool. Maybe it's teach for one lesson. Try it. See if it buys you back 5 minutes of sanity.
And let us know if it works.
Thanks for listening.
For more on Classroom Dynamics, follow us on X at Class Dynamics or on Instagram at Classroom Dynamics Podcast. And be sure to search Classroom Dynamics on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast shows.